Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Dayakaram Dayakaram Dantam Dharma Pravartakam Pranamami Dayanandam Madacharya Varam. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shriniyamadevah Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatrah Sthirairangaistushtvagam sastanubhihi Vyashemadevahitay yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravah Swasti nः Pusha Vishvavedaः Swasti nastarksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspatir Dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In a previous birth, we had taken up the study of what? Kaivalyopanishad. So, revisiting that now, we are towards the end of it, and we have stopped after listening to some of the very beautiful Mahavakyas and Sarvatma Bhava. What is Sarvatma Bhava? The understanding I am everything. I am non-separate from not just Ishvara but also Jagat. I see myself everywhere and I am everything. Iti bhava sarvam atma eva. Iti bhavaha sarvatma bhavaha. So this sarvatma bhava was given in the verses before the current verse we are on, which is 22nd. So we saw all this, and then we also saw, and it started off from a beautiful analysis of the microcosm, which is what? The inner Jagat. And the inner Jagat is made up of, it's a thought world. It's a world that is strung together by thoughts. It's just like going camping. And what do you do as soon as you reach the campsite? You put up a tent, and then before that there is nothing. There is just a greenery, maybe some hills, maybe some water. But when you go there, what do? You clear the ground a little bit, put up the tent, and then next to the tent you put up some kind of mosquito repelling candles, some kind of dhupa you put there. And then you take out all the things. You can take out some chairs from the car to sit down and watch the view. And then what do? You just do all these things, and there is a pop-up personal Jagat before you know it. Not only you know it, but the bears around also know it, but that's not the subject matter of this talk. But here, suddenly what was there was just greenery. And what is there now? A personal pop-up Jagat, PPJ, personal pop-up Jagat. Yeah, full of thoughts, ideas, notions, goals, ambitions, and emotions. And then what? Then after the camping is done, Jagat is gone. So therefore, it starts off like that. So the personal pop-up Jagat is discussed through a very ingenious methodology, a universal experience. Camping is not a universal experience. But sleeping, waking and dream is a personal experience, it's a universal experience. So each state, which are the states? Sleeping, waking, dreaming. Each state is a new campsite. And you go there with your little tent, put it up, and each state has its own little accoutrements that you bring. You carry the, what should I say, water bottle, water carrier of kartritvam, and the picnic basket of bhoktritvam. In which state? Jagrad avastha. In the waking state, you are both karta and bhokta. Then when you pitch a tent in the sleep state, what is there? The tent also is not there. Only bhokta is there. And then in the dream state, there is a dream tent, dream jagat, and dream bhoktritvam, and all this is there, we saw. So from here, the beautiful contribution of this Upanishad is this impeccable linking of the micro with the macro. It is just amazing. So this micro jagat, aka little tent on a campsite with all the chairs and everything, picnic basket, food, tablecloth, cloth to sit on, all these things are there. And then from that, sleeping, waking and dream state, what do? We go to the jagat. We go to the jagat, and that happens in the starting with the 18th, 19th verses. And then because how do we go to the macro? From the micro jagat of the waker, dreamer, sleeper experience, how do I make the bridge to the macro? First, you have to analyze this sleeper, waker, dreamer status to see that what is left. After the tent is pitched up and the tent is taken off, kya bacha hai? What is left? Consciousness, meaning I consciousness is left. Then again in the next state, the dream tent, dream goer, dreamer, everybody, all, and the dream people, whoever I dream of, are all there, and that is taken down. What is left? Me, consciousness. So this consciousness plays in all these three worlds of the waking, dreaming and sleeping states, just like a camper. An avid camper goes to various campsites and has those experiences. One is by the river, one is on top of a hill, one is by the one is in the forest, like this. And then, first we look at the experiences, analyze the experiences, and then what do? Then we go to seeing the experience comes and goes, but the experiencer, rather the content, the truth of the experiencer is what? Here to stay. And that is I, and that is where I should identify. And then in the verses number 19, 20 and 21, the nature of this I as non-separate from Ishvara, from the whole, is talked about. The 19th verse, Mayyeva sakalam jatam, Mayi sarvam pratishthitam, Mayi sarvam layam yati. Everything resolves in me, arises from me, arises out of me, sustained by me. What is this me? Consciousness, Brahman. I am that invariable consciousness which is the source of all existence, including the existence of the internal world of thoughts, experiences, kartritva, bhoktritva, buddhi, etc., and the external world of everything that we see, touch, hear, all the objects in the jagat. I am the one that sustains everything. This is a very nice nididhyasana. To think like this, to see this repeatedly is a very wonderful nididhyasana. And then it says, what is this Atma? Again in verse number 20 and 21, the nature of this Atma is talked about as neither big nor small. And who is this I? I am the whole universe, many and varied universe. I am as ancient as the rock. I am right here, right now. I am Purusha. I am Ishvara. And then I am of the unfading. I am like the gold that never fades. Means what? I am self-resplendent. I am auspicious. Usually what does one feel? I am bad luck. I am bad news. I'm never going to do this. I have no confidence. I am an idiot. I am inauspicious. Everybody has this feeling, I'm not good enough. That is enough. That is the most inauspicious feeling. And everybody feels that, okay, there is a better world out there. That is also an inauspicious thought. And I know it's an inauspicious thought, but then how to commit to this despite feeling inauspicious, because it seems like a contradiction. The whole, I feel like I'm an avatara, an embodiment of inauspiciousness and bad luck. And then how do I, from this standpoint, how do I commit myself to the most auspicious pursuit? This is a very difficult question, at least in the beginning, before it is properly decoded. And what is the problem here? Believing myself to be inauspicious and believing this pursuit and moksha and Ishvara to be the most auspicious, I don't find a bridge. So what does the Upanishad say? You are the auspiciousness that you seek. But I feel inauspicious. Thankfully, we are not led by the feelings. So many feelings come and go. We can't hang on to each and every one of them. We cannot enshrine them and put them on the throne. Like the people in the kingdom, they were sick of their king. He was tyrannical. So they had a little coup and ousted him. Then they said, they were so fed up, they said, how to choose a new king? They said, whoever walks by the palace courtyard will be the next king. They told themselves. Well, the king was a tyrant and the praja, the subjects, must have been very foolish, because the next thing that walked by the palace courtyard was what? A dog. They said, oh, your majesty. And the dog is looking up and down like this. Everybody is falling at the feet of the dog. And then then it's a roadside dog. You are the next king. So then they take it and put it in a flea dip, get rid of all the whatever it has carried, all the pests and everything. And then it's taken for its mani and pedi, and then it is brought, and then it is put on the throne, and then they offer it all kinds of things to eat. They put one tilak, do arati, and the dog is also going like this along with the arati. Then what happens? Then the dog enjoys the attention. Who doesn't? Somebody is showering you with love and putting you on and giving you nice things to eat. Any animal is intelligent enough to know that it's being loved and put on a pedestal. It's feeling nice. But then dog mind, it gets restless. It gets bored. And then it sees its girlfriend over there going. Girlfriend howls, it too howls, and then both of them run away, and then both of them go back to the courtyard, and then the subjects are horrified. No, our king, your majesty, where are you? You can't do this. Oh no, you can't mix with the commoners like this. And then they see that it is rolling in the mud. All the bath and everything gone to waste. So therefore what? This is just like enshrining the feelings, enshrining that which is temporary to be something permanent. All the Panchakoshas are like that. If I enshrine the body to be permanent, it's like doing the coronation of a dog. Same story. If I do this to the mind, it's the same thing. If I do this to the senses, the same thing. So the whole body, mind, sense complex, along with the thought world, etc., is temporary. I am the one that is giving it this credence. And even if I feel inauspicious, the inauspiciousness is being played out and being evident to me. Who is this me? The one that is free of inauspiciousness. If I were really inauspicious, would I know I am inauspicious? No. I would not be able to observe. I would be mired in inauspiciousness. I would not be able to observe. Therefore, Shivoham, Shivaha Aham. And then the 21st verse, also beautiful. How does consciousness see without eyes? How do I hear without ears? And what is it that this consciousness is? What is this I am? I am without karmendriyas, and I am of the nature of unimaginable power, limitless Shakti. And I am the knower of everything outside and inside. There is no one that can know me as an object. I am the knower of the mind. Inside means with reference to this body, mind, sense complex, quote unquote inside. So I am the knower of the body, the mind, the senses, and then quote unquote outside, I am the knower of the Jagat. I am the knower of the macro, I am the knower of the micro, and there is no one that can say, I know Atma as an object. Everything I know is an object, but no one can claim to know me as an object. This is who I am. Then the next verse, the mantra which we are about to see, talks about how is this to be understood? How do I know this? Vedairanekairahameva vedyaha Vedanta krid veda videva chaham Na punya pape mama nasti nashah Na janma dehendriya buddhirasti Na bhumirapo na cha vanhirasti Na cha nilo mesti na chambarancha. Very beautiful. Half of it we have seen, but it bears repetition. Vedaihi anekaihi ahameva vedyah. And let's go back here a little bit because there is a beautiful segue. 21st verse says what? Last line. Nacha asti veta mama. There is no one that is the knower of me as an object. And then who is this I? Chit sada aham. This I who is in the form of Chit. Then how do I know this Chit? That question will come definitely. And this is the beautiful Sangati, the segue here. Very, very pretty. So what is how am I known? I am known through the words of the Veda. The words of the Veda uses Ishvara how many times? We have lost count. The Veda unfolds the nature of Ishvara. The nature of Ishvara is not something you can logically infer. I have told you, the logic is like a donkey. It can carry as many, whatever you put on it, it will keep carrying. And so, but that doesn't make it make sense. Ishvara, it's very clear, is not a subject matter of deduction or inference, which are the tools of logic. The logic tools are what? Inference, deduction. This is what are the tools of logic. Ishvara is not subject to inference. If I can infer Ishvara, if I can say, aha, Jagat is, therefore Ishvara exists. This is a logical tautology, this is the logical statement. If I say Jagat is, therefore Ishvara exists, then that means what? Jagat is, I am dependent on the Jagat to infer Ishvara. Jagat becomes more important than Ishvara, and in fact, we will say Jagat is, Ishvara comes and goes. I can't even say it with a straight face. But it's turned the vision on its head. It's turned the vision on its head, and in fact, we can never have, according to logic, a vision of no division. Nayayikas, Vaisheshikas, all these darshanas thrive on splitting hairs. Everything is different from everything else. So, between an object and another object, there is a relationship. Between one part and another part, there is a relationship. If you ask a Vedantin what is the relationship, we'll say it's very clear. As the eyes can see, it is clay. The pot number 1 is what? Clay. Pot number 2, pot number 3, pot number 4, all clay, that is the relationship. No, not according to the logicians. According to the logicians, there is a sambandha, there are two kinds of relationships. First is the relationship between the pot and the clay itself has a relationship. We say, what relationship? Can the non-existent pot, which is completely dependent on clay, have a relationship other than just an identification? No. How many entities are there? Can you say? This begs demonstration. Can you say, I am holding two things, pot and clay? No. Either you can say, I am holding clay, or you can say, well, that clay is in the form of a pot. So, pot and clay are not synonyms. They cannot be. One is cause and the other one is what? Effect. And the effect being mithya, mithya means totally dependent on the clay this pot is. The pot, the relationship of the pot to the clay, what relationship can it have between mithya and satyam? There cannot be a relationship between mithya and satyam. What kind of relationship can be there between mithya and satyam? Tell me. No relationship. Because mithya is non-separate from satyam. How can there be a relationship between the two? It's like saying, me and my shadow are going to go for a walk by the Ganga. Okay, have a good time. No, please give me a towel. Why? Because if I'm walking by the river, the shadow might fall into the water and I don't want it to catch a cold. Like this, nobody talks, except the Nayayika. They will say that there is an intrinsic kind of a relationship between pot and clay called samavaya. Don't ask me what that is, but anyhow, samavaya sambandha, and then each thing is separate from the other. So really, all the darshanas do not take non-separateness, Advaita, seriously. Everything is counted. So there is a relationship between pot and clay, there is a relationship between pot and one more pot. No, but there is no pot, there is only clay. They will go, no, you don't know anything. Why? Why don't I know anything? Because we are all thinking and logical people. You are all very fully into Shraddha and you just, look at the Veda and go gaga over the Veda. No, we are all very thinking people. Because you see that we have to catalog everything that exists. In fact, they even catalog non-existence. How can you catalog non-existence? According to them, there are 4 kinds of non-existence. 4 kinds of non-existence, even one kind of non-existence doesn't exist, we say. Why? Because if you say the truth of this world is non-existent, is that a lie or is that the truth? The truth of the world is non-existence. Is that a lie or is that the truth? It's a lie. It's a brazen lie. Why? Because who is talking? Me, the great. Are you there or not there? You are there. You cannot negate yourself. You are the truth which cannot negate itself. Therefore, you cannot say, I am not there. It will be like a child playing hide and seek, and the child hides behind the couch, and what does it do? Don't look here. I am not hiding here. It advertises itself. Truth always is self-evident and advertises itself. Not so much for these Nayayikas. Even one kind of non-existence we say is not there. Non-existence is non-existent, we say. That is the Vedanta's proclamation. But what do they say? 4 kinds of non-existence. Pray, please, let me indulge you. Please explain. Where are these 4 kinds? Where did you get your numbers from? Okay, look at this pot. Do you agree that there was a time this pot was not? Yeah, of course, it was clay and then it was made from clay. Yeah, so first kind of non-existence is the last minute of non-existence of the pot. Last minute. The last minute. See, even to talk like this, we have to really think, because really I'm not used to this here. I have to become somebody else in order to talk like this. What was the last minute? So this one is called prior non-existence, because there was a time there was not, pot was not. So prior to the construction of this pot, prior to the fashioning of this pot was what? Non-existent. That is one kind of non-existence. Then we have what is called posterior non-existence. So now I am going to crash the pot. Ooh, pot gone. What was the last minute of the existence of the pot and the first minute of the non-existence of the pot? That is called posterior non-existence. Then they have anyonya abhava, means mutual non-existence. So when this pot is there, when this pot is there, let's say another pot can't be there. I mean, there is no reason why the other pot can't be there, but for the sake of argument, let's say when this pot is there, another pot cannot be there in the same place at the same time. So this is anyonya abhava. Then we have absolute non-existence, like even the horns of a rabbit, shashashringa, like this. Even one kind of absence we don't undertake, and so therefore many kinds of what to talk of many kinds of absences and non-existences. And so therefore it's clear that none of the darshanas come close to seeing that the Ishvara is the subject matter of the Veda. And the Veda I have to see as a pramana in order to understand this Ishvara. And Vedaihi anekaihi, Vedaihi Vedyah, Vedaihi anaikaihi, Ahameva Vedyah. This is also coming in which place? 15th chapter. Before you eat lunch, this is what happens. And so, Vedaihi anekaihi ahameva vedyah. There Ishvara is talking. Here you as Ishvara are talking. The subject matter of the Veda, all the Vedas is what? Myself alone. Oh, then the Veda becomes better than Ishvara, because first I have to rely on Jagat to objectify Ishvara. Now I have to rely on Veda to know Ishvara. So Veda becomes bigger than Ishvara. No. Vedanta Krit. I am the author of the Veda and I am also known through the Veda. Very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. I am the author of the Veda. I am known through the Veda. So this problem is not there. What is the problem otherwise? Ishvara becomes subject to the Veda. So the Veda is an authority for Ishvara, yes, but who is the author of the Veda? Who is the authority for the Veda? Ishvara. So what is the Veda? Autobiography of Ishvara. That is how we have to look at the Veda. It's autobiography of Ishvara, and so therefore there is no problem of the Vedas becoming more important than Ishvara. And so this Ishvara, I am, na punya pape mama nasti. For me there is no punya papa. No punya exists, no papa exists. Why? Because they are all for a certain person. Who is the person for whom punya papa exists? Karta, bhokta, pramata, all other tata. Ta means what is that? Trich, agent. For the one who considers oneself an agent of knowledge, an agent of action, an agent of thought, an agent of this thing, for them, lots of options are there. So those options are not there for the one who says, I am not an agent. There is no punya, no papa, no nothing. Punya papa, one owns up because one is mired in kartritva buddhi. That's why karma yoga. You come out of it. First you say it all belongs to Ishvara, and then with the help of the knowledge, what do you say? I am this Ishvara. Very beautiful. So na punya pape mama nasti nashaha. Then likewise punya papa destroyed for me, but I am not subject to destruction. Indestructible I am, not at all subject to destruction. Na janma. Then na janma, no birth for me. No death was said in the third line, no birth for me. And then no birth for me, and then no deha for me, no body for me. Not nobody is there for me, no. No body for me, okay? And no senses, no mind, no intellect. All this, there is a strategic disidentification from all of them. And where did the mind and the intellect and all come from? Yes, ultimately Ishvara, but relatively speaking, yes, Maya also is Ishvara. Come down a little bit. What was the first things that were created? 5 elements. So the relatively speaking, vyavaharically speaking, the body, the mind, the senses are crafted from where? The bhumihi, apaha, analaha, anilaha, and then akashaha. So the 5 elements, what is that? Panchikrita 5 elements. The 5 elements that have been grossified. First, the 5 elements are in their pure form called tanmatraha. Tanmatraha means only air, only fire, only water, only space, only earth. But those elements are useless. The elements in their pure form, they are so subtle that they cannot really do anything. So because of Ishvara, they undergo a process called Panchikaranam. Panchikaranam means a grossification. How does this happen? Half of the air element is retained, and then 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8 of the other 4 elements are put together. Let's say air. Subtle air, half is retained. 1/8, what else is there? Tell me. 1/8 akasha, 1/8 fire, 1/8. Don't say vayu, half is vayu. Okay, 1/8 earth, 1/8. Yeah, water, space, fire and earth. Then now let's take the earth element, half earth element, and then 1/8 akasha, 1/8 vayu, 1/8 jala and 1/8 agni. Then they become grossified and have the ability to create the whole Jagat. From them the whole Jagat has come, and so therefore if you look at this body, there is a lot of all the elements we can see. The bones are the earth, and then blood and all the fluids, water. The hunger is what? Fire. The temperature 98.6, that is also fire. That is also fire. And then what else is there? Vayu. Vayu is there. All you have to do is get up after a night's sleep. All the bones go click, 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 tuck, tuck, tuck. That is the air. That is the air. And then finally, don't space out now. Finally, space. Where is the space? Right here. Right here it obtains. That's why I don't remember anything, especially Sanskritam. So, space is there even in the stomach. Space is there between the joints. Everywhere space is. And so, the 5 elements exist in this body, we can very clearly see. So, this body, the mind also, the body is the prasada of the gross 5 elements. The mind and the senses are the prasada of subtle 5 elements. So like this, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the senses, I am not the 5 elements from which all these have come either. The disidentification is complete. And it's not just disidentification. The disidentification is preceded by identifying with myself as Sadashiva, Ishvara, consciousness. And so that is the 22nd verse. 23rd verse sums this up very nicely. Evam viditva paramatma rupam guhashayam nishkalamadvitiyam samasta sakshim sadasadvihinam prayati shuddham paramatma rupam. So, evam viditva, knowing in this manner. Which manner? That which has been unfolded by the last 4-5 verses. Knowing myself as Paramatma Rupa, as nothing other than Bhagavan. Bhagavan's Swarupa, which is Satchidananda, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma, consciousness. Knowing myself as non-separate from Ishvara, as the very Swarupa of Ishvara. And where is this Ishvara? Where? Yeah, look at the next word. Guha Shayam. Ishvara is sleeping. Where? In a cave. Ooh, where is this cave? Vasishta Gufa. No. Cave of the heart. Heart is like a cave. We have seen why there is a correlation between the heart and the cave. Both are damp and both are you can't see anything. Both of them have tamas, darkness. Both are damp, both are dark, both have bats flying around. In the one cave there are bats, in the other cave there are bats of doubt and despair. So, and then nothing you can see. So the cave of the heart is called, the heart is called the cave, because until this knowledge, the light of knowledge lights it up, Ishvara Darshanam cannot take place. And so, therefore, this Ishvara is sleeping. That's a euphemism. Can Ishvara sleep? No. Who is sleeping? Yeah, you are sleeping. This Ishvara is sleeping. This Ishvara is sleeping. That Ishvara is sleeping. The whole Jagat is filled with Ishvaras who are sleeping to the truth of themselves being who? Ishvara. Guha Shayam. Sleeping. Or running the whole show without stress. That's the second meaning of Shayam, sleeping. Sleeping means lying down like Mahavishnu, Narayana. Like this, lying down, no stress. Here, if we are given one task to do, oh, no, how will it, oh, I don't know if I can do this, oh, too much. And what does Narayana do? Run the whole Jagat without any stress. All he needs is a little foot massage and he is ready to go. Yeah, little leg massage and he is okay. And so therefore, I am like this. I am that Ishvara who is free of stress, who is as though lying down in the heart and running the whole show without any stress. One meaning. Second meaning, I am that Ishvara who is sleeping to my own glory in my own heart. I have to wake up to have this darshan. Both meanings are valid. Guha Shayam. And what is this Ishvara's nature? Nishkalam, partless, no parts at all. And then Nishkalam, Advitiyam, non-dual and impartite, partless. The witness of everything there is, because everything there is non-separate from me. I am the witness, I am not affected by anything, and I am free of Sat and Asat. Here, Sat and Asat have special meaning. What is the meaning of Sat? That which has form. What is the meaning of Asat? Like Vayu, etc., that which is Amurta. Murta, Amurta. So, I am free of Murta, Amurta. I am beyond that which has form, which doesn't have form. I am neither that which has form, I am neither that which has no form. But at the same time, everything that has form depends on me. Everything that does not have form also depends on who? Myself alone. So, prayati. Prayati means one gains, reaches, whatever, all within quotes. There is no gain. It's a moksha is a gained gain. The gain is in the form of knowing the truth of myself. Paramatma rupam shuddham. One gains this Paramatma Swarupa after having known the truth of this. And now, the 23rd verse tells us what to do after gaining this knowledge. Because that will be a question. What next? Kaivalyopanishad is finishing. What are we going to take up next? There is still time. It's almost over. Oh, only one more verse left. What are we going to do next? Kathopanishad, tick. Finished. Do you remember anything? No, that's besides the point. But it's done, that I know. That I know it's done, finished. Kathopanishad, done. And then what? Kaivalya also almost finished. And then what next? Fir kya psychology, this is called. What next psychology? What will happen next? What should I do next? And the Upanishad recognizes that this is the mind of a small boy or a small girl. One treat is over. Mom and dad took me to picnic. Picnic experience over. What next? What are we going to do next? Yeah, that. Okay. So, so then that's done. What's next? And then this is done. What's next? Okay, let's go to the movies. Ooh, movies, wonderful, popcorn, soda. Okay, all that experience is done. What's next? What's next? What's next? This way one exhausts the whole Jagat. And then after that what? One is exhausted. that is what happens. There is no other way. And so therefore this what next psychology is there in everyone. And I'll let you in on a secret. Even the Swami is not exempt by this Upanishad. So for the person who after the teaching is done, always there is this feeling, something must be remaining. I haven't been taught. Why do you feel this way? Because I'm not quite there yet. I need something more. I need a hand to hold. I need a ladder to climb up to the next rung. I need something. Help me here. Help me out. For them, the 24th verse is made. It's not in any particular meter, but let us just read it. Yaha shatarudram adhite. Shall we try that again? Yeah. Yashatarudram adhite. Yashatarudram adhite. Sogniputo bhavati. Surapanat puto bhavati. Sabrahma hatyat puto bhavati. Sasuvarnasteyat puto bhavati. Sakritya krityat puto bhavati. Yeah. Puta here means pure. From pu to purify. Puta and all these words starting from pu, everything is this, it is pure. Punitaha, made pure. All is that very beautiful word. So, pau plus akaha, pu becomes pau, and then you add an agent pratyaya, aka, pavaka, that which purifies. What is pavaka? Fire. Yeah. So like this, very beautiful, what is that, Phalashruti is given, but with a caveat. So, yaha shatarudriyam adhite. Suddenly Rudra has come. No, it was there from before. We talked about it, the fear-based response to Ishvara, the fear-based prayer, etc. And I'm looking at blank faces. Doesn't matter, don't worry. Yeah. So, you can go and listen to the first 2-3 talks and then you will see. It will all come back. It's there, it's just latent, it's not coming out just now. But we did talk about the Sri Rudram a lot at the beginning of this Upanishad. And then here it says, if you're serious about moksha, if you're serious about the phala of this Upanishad, what do you have to do? Shatarudriyasya adhyayanam. Study, repeat. Adhyayana here, repetition. Keep repeating Sri Rudram. Why should I do that? Because indirectly it will take you to Jnanam. Directly, Vedanta takes me to Jnanam, but the Rudra is also like an Upanishad. It's called Rudropanishad. And the Rudra takes me to Jnanam, even indirectly, even before knowing the Rudra. Why? Because it has tremendous power. This is very true. It has just tremendous power. The rishis, tapas, everything, whoever channeled it, many rishis are there, many mantras are there. So all of them, have tremendous tapas shakti, japas shakti, all this and Bhagavan has come through them very beautifully. So they are the seers of the mantra of the Sri Rudriyam, and then so the Sri Rudram indirectly helps you to get moksha. How? By cutting off all your papas, and some of those papas are talked about here. What is that? Surapanat puto bhavati. What is surapana? Alcohol drinking. And here we have to modernize it and say any kind of addiction, even samsara addiction. Samsara itself is an addiction. Any kind of an addictive behavior where one has neglected nitya karma, naimittika karma, whatever one is supposed to do, one is not doing because there is some hidden addiction, and because of certain pain, one has caused pain to others, caused pain to Ishvara by going away from the path that is there, by separating oneself from the flow, caused pain to oneself, caused disturbance in Ishvara's flow. So all that, what happens when you do that? Papa comes. So that papa, Shatarudriyam wipes it off, clean slate, rub, gone. So Surapanat, we have to say Surapanat, Papat, we have to add Papat here, all fifth case. From the Surapana, from the Papa of the Surapana, addictive behaviors, and because of addiction, what does one do? One behaves badly, and so all that bad behavior going against the laws of Ishvara, all that Papa is wiped away. Supposing in the olden times, the worst thing you could do was to kill a Brahmana. Why? Brahmana, like the cow, harmless. Just somebody living off of alms. That was the Brahmana. You go kill the Brahmana means it was almost an unabsolvable crime. And so here, Brahmahatyat puto bhavati. So if we see now what is a very difficult papa, like homicide and all these kinds of difficult papas, which are very difficult to redeem oneself, even though you may do the time behind the bars of a jail or something like that, but that guilt inside is very difficult to get rid of, almost impossible. So that papa, including the guilt, which is the which is the pratyaksha phala, drishta phala of that papa, both of them are gone with the repetition of Shatarudriyam. Brahmahatyat puto bhavati. Suvarnasteyat puto bhavati. Steya, stealing, steyat, from the robbing of gold robbing. And so that also one is pure. Krita krityat. Kritya krityat puto bhavati. So that which is done, which should not be done, one is purified. And that which is not to be done, which one has done, one is purified. Tasmad avimuktam ashritah bhavati. Avimuktam ashritah bhavati. Avimuktam means the one that is always free. Because of this Shatarudriya study and repetition, what happens to one? One sees that one is always free, and then one abides in Bhagavan, who is always free. One abides not in Bhagavan, as Bhagavan, one abides in one's own glory. And then Bhavati Atyashrami, Sarvada Sakridva Japet. So even the person who is a sannyasi is advised to constantly be chanting Rudram. Let the Rudram be flowing off my lips all the time. Let the Rudram be rotating in my mind all the time. And then, if supposing one cannot do that, what should one do? At least say it once a day. Sakrit means once. Asakrit, many times. Sakrit is Nipata. Nipata means it does not decline, indeclinable. So Sakrit va means either once or all the time one is marinating in the Rudram all the time, and then that's a beautiful way of living. And why for the sannyasi? Because if supposing someone has taken sannyasa before complete Atmajnanam has taken place, this becomes a wonderful nididhyasana where one does not get distracted by everything that is going around. So then, anena jnanam apnoti. Anena, not Shatarudriyena now, verse number 24. Anena doesn't mean Shatarudriyena. Anena Kaivalya Upanishada. By the study of the Kaivalya Upanishad, one has come back to Kaivalya Upanishad. This was the practice of Nididhyasana and how to remain in the knowledge. Now we come back in the last mantra to the Kaivalya Upanishad. Anena, by this, jnanam apnoti, gains the knowledge. And what kind of a jnanam? Samsararnava nashanam. The jnana that gets rid of the veil of samsara. Veil, pun intended. V-E-I-L and W-A-I-L, both the veils are gotten rid of by the study of this Upanishad. Samsararnava nashanam. And then so the samsara, which is the Arnava, ocean. The ocean of samsara is destroyed. The veil that separates me from Bhagavan is destroyed. The ocean of samsara, how is it destroyed? By seeing that it is just a notion. The mithyatvam is seen just as a notion, and then it is thoroughly and completely destroyed, fully destroyed. And then for who? For the person who has gone through this Upanishad. It is both the Phalashruti, and coming at the end, it is also in the form of a blessing. It's also in the form of a blessing. And what is the blessing? May the samsara be destroyed for you. When? Right now. Let it be destroyed for you. Why do you want to have it? Let it be destroyed for you right now. It is the blessing of Bhagavan that this samsara be destroyed for whoever is studying this Upanishad, whoever has studied this Upanishad. Tasmadevam viditva enam. After understanding this Upanishad in this manner, what happened? Enam goes with Upanishadam. Upanishadam, we have to supply. It is not there. Enam Upanishadam tasmat enam Upanishadam evam viditva. Knowing the Upanishad in this particular manner, what happens? Kaivalyam padam ashnute, gains the pada. Pada means the goal. What is the goal? Moksha, Kaivalya, onliness. So what is this Upanishad? The journey from loneliness to onliness. Kaivalyam padamashnute, Kaivalyam padamashnuta iti. Because there is nothing else other than me. All this is like a Gandharva Nagari. Gandharva Nagari means like sometimes you lie down on the grass and look up, and then you see clouds. One of them looks like a temple, and if you look closely, inside is another cloud resembling Ganesha. Ooh, Ganesha temple. And then of course your mind is now overactive, and then you see some devotees approaching this temple. Some come by foot. And then, oh, but what can I do for this car? Okay, some come by car, we can say. One cloud looks like a car. And so some come by car, some come by foot. All these people are going into the temple and everything. And then you take a little nap because the sun is just right, the breeze is just right, the grass is soft and cool. When you just wake up, you have only slept for 10-15 minutes. You look up, what has happened? The whole Gandharva Nagari has changed. Where is Ganesha? You don't know. the Vayu Devata has blown off the temple. Now the clouds are in another formation. So the whole Jagat is like that. Various formations, so many formations, so little time. All that is there is me, the observer of them, who is not affected by them. On this auspicious note, the Upanishad ends. But does the Upanishad ever end? No. So what do we have to do? Yeah, we just have to study the first verse all over again. So, Om अथ आश्वलायनः भगवन्तं परमेष्ठिनम् उपसमेत्य उवाच अधीहि भगवन् ब्रह्मविद्यां वरिष्ठां सदा सद्भिः सेव्यमानां निगूढां यया चिरात् सर्वपापं व्यपोह्य परात्परं पुरुषं याति विद्वान् तस्मै सहोवाच पितामहश्च श्रद्धा भक्ति ध्यानयोगादवैः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ